Devin Vassell in the starting shooting guard spot. Listen, when you're watching these next 20-some games, the most important player to watch is Devin Vassell. In terms of player development, it's Devin Vassell and how he produces in this starting shooting guard spot. Okay, so when I think about the future, when I think about the future San Antonio Spurs, it starts here. It starts with Devin Vassell in the shooting guard spot. To me, that's step one. Other than DeJounte Murray, every other starting position on the roster, you can question if the player occupying it is even in the correct spot, right? In terms of like Doug McDermott at the 4, Keldon Johnson Keldon Johnson and Doug McDermott in that 3 and 4 spot, right? Where are they going to be most successful? I don't know. So there's a lot of questions on almost everybody else on if they're in the right spot or if they're good enough to get the San Antonio Spurs back to contention, like Jakob Poeltl. Jakob Poeltl's had an amazing season playing next to DeJounte Murray. But the question is still out there. Is he good enough? Is that good enough? Are we good enough? Is that going to be a part of that playoff picture team? I want you to close your eyes and actually envision a Spurs team that gets to the playoffs every single year. And I want you to think about who's in those spots right now. And I'm telling you, Devin Vassell is the only one where I actually feel like that is the first step to getting back to top 4, top 5 seeds in the Western Conference. I even have questions on DeJounte Murray being that point guard for us, for that team. And I think the Spurs can make the team work around DeJounte and Devin Vassell as your 1 and 2. And then the rest of it, I think, is still up in the air. And I'm not saying that Keldon Johnson shouldn't be starting. I'm not saying Doug McDermott shouldn't be starting. But maybe one of those guys should be coming off the bench, real talk. And then are they good enough to get us to the playoffs every single year if they're both in our starting lineup? Imagine if both of those guys came off the bench. I mean, just in some alternate universe out there, if Keldon Johnson and Doug McDermott came off the bench because we had better pieces in those spots. Just picture it for a second. Or KJ at the 3, and we actually had a legit 6'10" guy at the 4, 6'9" guy at the 4, and then a legit center who's gonna finish that puzzle of a starting lineup. Is that Jakob? Is he good enough? That's the question moving forward. And the only player is Devin Vassell that I actually believe is part of that picture. So Devin Vassell has started 12 games this season so far, with another 23 games left on the schedule. If healthy throughout all those games, he will total 35 starts by the end of this season. His rookie year, we know that he only got a couple starts. He had 7 starts, and usually that was because of an injury replacement or the players were out and there was really no one else. There was times where Devin Vassell didn't even play his rookie year, which to me was just, made no sense. So Devin Vassell standing at 6'5" with a 6'10" wingspan. Inserting that type of player into your shooting guard spot is extremely interesting to me. He came into the league listed as a small forward, versatile enough to guard 1 through 4 on defense. He can guard your point guard, he can guard your shooting guard, small forward, and even a power forward in certain matchups. And I think in his future, he's going to be more confident in doing that as his body grows. Now, he also came into the league extremely fundamentally sound. Sound enough to blow by his defender, shoot over his defender, and he was also equipped with a relatively veteran-like poise in his decision-making. You rarely saw him make mistakes. His rookie season even. And in his rookie season, he was kind of just trapped over there in the corner. And I think he took that on as a challenge. I think he took that role. He's like, yo, Devin, you're not really going to play much. We're not going to have you coming off the wing, and doing all this type of stuff. You're going to operate from the corner. And boy, did he. And I went back and looked at his film, and he has all types of game from that corner spot. Kind of, how Bruce Bowen, they put him in that corner, and it was like, Bruce, you have option A, B, and C, and he became extremely efficient at those options, right? Devin Vassell did that his rookie year. He learned how to play from the corner. He knew he wasn't going to get the touches, right? If he was going to get the ball, it was going to be off a swing, from Patty Mills and Rudy Gay and DeMar, and then Derek and DeJounte, and then last was Devin Vassell. And if he got that ball, usually he was sitting in that corner waiting for that ball, and then he operated at a high level in that corner with great decision making. That's where I'm tying that in. That's where automatically I was just like, man, this guy's so smart. He's so smart because not everyone can operate in the corner like he does. He has the ability to attack in the corner, use a 1 dribble, 2 dribble pull up, get to the rim, miss, get his own shot back. He's just aggressive from the corner. It's very interesting to watch him develop from that spot. His rookie season. Now the upside is off the charts when you slide him up to the shooting guard spot. It really, really blows the upside out of the water. Because not only does it add a high caliber defender to your starting lineup automatically, right? Derek White was a high caliber defender as well, but very different, right? They're very different at the same level as they are defensively. Because I think Derek White is a great defender. So is Devin. Devin just doesn't take as many charges and kind of put his body on the line, but his IQ is off the charts. Not only are you adding that to the starting lineup, but what it also does is it increases the size potential of your starting lineup. Think about it. Devin Vassell at the 2 guard spot at 6'5" with 6'10" wingspan next to DeJounte Murray, who's also around 6'5" with another long wingspan. If you want to just get bigger from that point on, your 3, 4, and 5, just keep going up. You can get a really, really tall, athletic team and put them on the court together. I mean, right now we don't really have those pieces. We're kind of in this small ball mode, but the potential is there when you slide Devin Vassell from the 3 to the 2. Now, the reason why the Spurs can do this, slide him up to the 2, is that his shot package is extremely elite. It is. I'm saying it right now. He already, in his second year, knows how to score from all areas on the floor. He has big time game at the rim, either in transition or attacking off the dribble. We all seen him get up and finish. He's an extremely efficient finisher at the rim, which Derek White was not. Neither is Lonnie Walker. And currently, Joshua Primo is not either. Derek White just became that last season, in my opinion. DeJounte, last season, the last DeMar season, was the first season where I saw so much growth in DeJounte's ability to finish at the rim. Now, this season, it was like on autopilot. But it was barely last season where I feel like he put that in his game, where he was making more layups than he was missing. Devin Vassell is already there. The corner spot, which I just talked about. The elbow jump shot, the mid-range spots, he already has poise getting there. He can get there just off his penetration, and he's also extremely poised in the pick and roll. And he can come off a screen and get to that elbow spot and make a decision, pull up mid-range. He can do that. And he's got a smooth three-point shot. He's got it all. Not only that, that's when the ball's in his hands. We already know from these first 2 years, for a year and a half of his career, that he is also a smart off-ball cutter. So when he's not being asked to score, he can still be effective by cutting back door and also spacing the floor. You never see him in the wrong spot. You always see him balancing the floor, spacing it out, ready to catch off the perimeter, off a driving kick or whatever. It is the total package. And if the Spurs are serious about moving forward next season, look for them to install and apply. Keywords there, install and apply a variety of sets to get him looks. The same way we did for Timmy, the same way we did for Kawhi, the same way that we did for LaMarcus. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We ran the same 4 or 5 plays to death because they were able to produce at a high level from those spots. Expect that next season. Okay, we got to get him those looks. The Spurs have to make it a priority. Expect his shot attempts to go from where they are now at 12.3 field goal attempts per game, 10, to next season being somewhere around 16 to 18, right? That is what you need to be expecting from Devin Vassell. And his 3-point shot attempts to go from about 5.1 attempts is where he's at right now. I see that going up slightly, maybe taking about 7 or 8 more, or about 7 or 8 total, right, per game. The load must increase for Devin Vassell. This season, he's shown extreme efficiency off the bench. I remember the Dallas game where we lost, where he played like 12 minutes and he was like 8 for 9. And there's been many games throughout this season where he's limited in minutes, 12 to 15 a game, and he produces on a crazy level where he goes 2 for 3 or 2 for 4 from 3, and then he goes 8 for 10 or 9 for 12 from the field, right? Like that's what Devin Vassell has done in the sample that we have from this year, his sophomore year. He's even had the chance this season to take some big shots down the stretch in close games. Now, he doesn't make all of them. And I'll come out and say that. He does not make all of those shots. The ones that are, we need this bucket down 2 or down 3 or down 4 with 20, 30 seconds left to go out of a timeout, and we're drawing up this play, and we draw it up for Devin. What that does do, though, it make him or miss, whatever, but what that does reflect is the amount of trust and confidence that he has earned from the coaching staff as being a capable guy that can get his shot off when it counts. Now, using my coaching eyes, what I see in Devin reminds me a lot of watching a rookie Kawhi Leonard. This is not a debate over if you love him or hate him, Kawhi, because there is no debate on how good he was and how good he was as a rookie and as a sophomore. In a rookie, there was a trial and tribulation period with him where he did not start, and then he ended up taking Richard Jefferson's spot and Steven Jackson's spot. Both of them didn't like it and had to get the hell out. Y'all remember that? And then Kawhi wasn't offensively as put together, but he was extremely efficient in what he did get. And the way that the comparison of these two, I just remember being mesmerized all the time, Kawhi's rookie sophomore year, by the ease in which he uses his athletic ability to score easy. It's like he's so athletic, but it's just like he doesn't try. Like it's just a little push, a little lift here, a little lift there, and he's already at the rim, putting the ball in the basket. And every once in a while, you saw that athletic explosion. Every once in a while, didn't need it. It was too easy. And he combined that with a high IQ, the same way Devin does on defense. And they both use their length to disrupt some of the best in the game when they're on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm very much looking forward to see how Devin does in the shooting guard spot as a starter. And I'm also very much looking forward to see how his body develops over time, because that's only going to increase the potential that he has. So number 1, Devin Vassell in that starting spot. Look for the results.